Hi, I'm Wayne Lack and I'm going to be going through the entire January 2013 Core 3 AQA paper. This particular video is question 1, so you can find the rest of the questions on my channel in the playlist. Now, according to the examiner's report, the first half of the exam was done quite well by most and the second half proved more challenging. Question 1 indeed being in the first half, most students did fine. Couple of marks through silly errors, and we'll talk about them during it. But let's turn to the whiteboard and do question 1. Alright, so this is question 1. Show that x cubed minus 6x plus 1 equals 0 has a root alpha, where alpha is greater than 2 and less than 3. This question comes up in nearly every Core 3 exam, if not every single one. What it wants you to do is evaluate it at the 2 points and then comment on what you observe. So we do f of 2 and f of 3. So at f of 2 we get 2 cubed minus 6 times 2 plus 1, which is 8, minus 12, which is minus 4, plus 1 is minus 3. And of f of 3, so we get 3 cubed minus 6 times 3 plus 1. So that's 27 minus 18 plus 1, which is 10. So what we can then say is change in sign, because it's changed from a negative to a positive, so there's a change of sign. You can either write therefore, which is a triangle of dots, or you can write this implies. Don't write both, I'm just showing. Alpha is greater than 2, but it's less than 3. So this comes up all the time, that part. Part B, show that x cubed minus 6x plus 1 equals 0 can be rearranged to x squared equals 6 minus 1 over x. Okay, so to show that question, it's quite an easy one. This comes up sometimes with these questions. It's not quite as common as part A, but it does come up quite a lot, where it's just silly little rearranging at things. So there's a few different steps you could take to get the same answer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say x cubed equals, and take the minus 6x and the plus 1 over the other side. So x cubed equals 6x minus 1. And I'm going to divide both sides by x to get x squared equals 6 minus 1 over x. You could have divided by x at this stage and got 6 minus x, but minus 6 plus 1 over x, and then taken them over the other side, and you'd have got the same answer. It's a simple show that question, and it comes up quite a lot. Part C, and then it says use the iteration, but that's a big word so I couldn't fit them all on. Use the iteration xn plus 1 equals the square root of 6 minus 1 over xn, with x1 is equal to 2.5. That's 2.5, there's a decimal there just in case you can't see on the camera. And you've got to find x3 to 4 significant figures. So what you do is this xn will start with x1, because that's the only information we get. And what we'll get out is xn plus 1. So if we're putting in x1, we're going to get out x2. And then if we put x2 in, we're then going to get x3, which is what we want. So there's a few steps, but we only actually want x3 at the end. So firstly, put in x1, which is the only part we have to start with, so we get 6 minus 1 over 2.5, the square root of all that. And if you put that into your calculator, you should get 2.366432. Okay, we then put that into it to get x3. So we get 6 minus 1 over, but this time it's the 2.366432. So 1 over that. And that will give us our x3 value. And that's the answer to 4 significant figures. Now, I can't do that in my head, so I'm going to type that in and see what I get. So I'm going to put in 6 minus, or the square root of 6 minus 1 over 2.366432. 422, and I get x3 to 4 significant figures to be 2.362. So in terms of marks in this question, this part A was worth 2 marks, part B was worth 1, and part C was worth 2 marks. Now, where did people omit the marks, if they did? They omitted it here. They said most people got that right, and then a lot of people said change in sign. But they didn't say what that change in sign means, and it's a show that question. So you've got to do change in sign and what it means. So therefore, or this implies what you're trying to show. So this. If you just write change in sign, that doesn't get you the second mark. You have to say change in sign, therefore, or this implies. I think it said everyone was fine with this. That one's not a problem. That's a 1 marker. Part C. You'll notice I've done quite a few significant figures here. You need at least 4, which gives 2.366, because you want the answer to 4 significant figures. So if you do less, the likelihood is you'll have a rounding error in the end. So do at least 4 significant figures. I here have done 4, 5, 6, 7, just to be extra sure. So then when you put that into there, it has to be at least these 4 significant figures to give a 4 significant figure answer. And a lot of people didn't do that. And some people get confused between significant figures and decimal places. Some put 4 decimal places. And you've got to read the question, it says significant figures. That was question 1. I hope it helped a little bit. I'll see you at question 2.